Hello, 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 friends. Nicholas here with DIVO TED Talks, or Devoted Talks, depending on how you want to say it, where we take ancient wisdom and practices through a modern lens and experience to help you and those you love in suffering in your personal and greater worlds alike. And sorry, I was playing with the microphone. I'm trying to take creative suggestions and apply them here because we're in season 3, Got to take it seriously in season 3. Oh man, so season 1 wasn't really anything. It was just a couple of here and there, and I didn't really land. And season 2 was after I did a whole year of it with 3 time recordings a week, more or less. I think I missed a few weeks in the beginning, but now we are on to season 3, and through 3 episodes a week between 5 and 12 minutes long. And it's really snippets of things that are on my mind and or revelations that I've had recently with clients. So we're really trying to dig into this stuff because it's relatable. And, sometimes people just need a reframe for life to help them do that. One thing I did commit to is I will not record when I'm on low energy or emotionally one way or the other, because I noticed how different it is. I don't make eye contact and I'm thinking a lot, and I will continually commit to showing up at the highest level, not because I don't want you to see those sides of me, but when I'm tuned in and turned on and like the energy's coming and flowing, it's a different experience and the things land so differently, not in a bad way or a good way or just different way. It's just the way it is. And so I want to start in there because I am feeling jazzed up. I am feeling good. Still deep in spring, which is full of pollen and full of things that really make it challenging for a kapha like me. A kapha is Kapha. It is from Ayurveda. It's one of the doshas. It's my predominant dosha, and it is sticky and heavy and dense. And just like spring, right? That's what happens after the ice and the wintry stuff starts to melt, and then all the blooms start to happen. Everything becomes dense and sticky and heavy, and it's still cool. It's not completely hot yet, even though we are starting to have longer days. And so it causes a buildup in my system of kapha. And so because I'm already a predominant kapha, any more kapha or extra kapha makes me exhibit those traits even more. So I'm more lethargic. I am more affected by the pollen. I'm just kind of like, ugh. Thankfully, I do have a high level of pitta in me that allows me to burn through some of the extra stuff. We were talking about an Ayurveda Digested podcast yesterday about how Ama and Kapha kind of show each other when they're in excess. They are very similar to each other in that effect. But because I'm a predominant dosha of Kapha, it is highly likely that I have extra Kapha qualities. And it's Kapha, not Kapha. The PH is an aspirate, and you go Kapha. You exhale as you're saying the P sound. Anyway. So what I really want to focus in on is intention and manifestation and the creation of things, and how oftentimes by the things that we choose to put our attention on, we expand those experiences in our lives, and not so many words or not so many experiences, right? The energy and the feelings end up being the same, but the details and sometimes the explanations of them are a little bit different. So, I have been focusing on things that I didn't want, and I started to get more of them. And I'm like, why am I getting more of this? And then I'm like, because you keep focusing on it, fool. And it's not that it's not supposed to happen that way. And it would be happening differently, but I wouldn't be feeling the way I'm feeling about it based on my focus. Like if my focus is here, and then things manifest, and then it makes me continue to feel that way, that's not what I'm looking for. But if I am focusing on things that make me feel differently, new things can manifest that continue to make me feel that way. And so it's not about you being a perfectionist and making sure that you're not thinking about the things that you don't want to manifest in your life. It's that you start focusing on the feelings that you want to see manifest in your life, those experiences that you want to see manifest in your life, and those energies and essences that you feel deep down as you're partaking in them or you're experiencing them. And so I know it gets kind of dicey because you're like, oh, I just have to make sure that I manage all of these things. I have to manage my emotions. I have to manage what I'm thinking about. And that's not what we're saying, because things are going to manifest through the path of least resistance for you, for everybody. And that details might be different because the greatest good of all will be served in that moment based on their ability or readiness to receive it. And so, how aligned you are with your new expression of self, your new expression of life, your new expression of things in general will dictate what can come to you. And that will also be related to all others that will be a part of that manifestation, right? There's going to be different players, there's going to be different games, and they're going to show up. And based on other people's aspects within that, will dictate what the final shakeout is going to be. It's kind of like Plinko. If you don't know what Plinko is, I don't know how to explain it to you. Look it up on Google. But all of those pegs are going to influence this ball, but it all starts off with the initial drop, right? And so these other people, places, and things are in the way, are going to make you bounce around in different ways. That's going to alter necessarily where you land in the slots down at the bottom. And it's not problematic, but some slots have more of a turnout or outcome or greater benefit than others. And so it's not always just whether you're manifesting well or not, meditating well or not. Sometimes this is the highest good for everyone involved right here, right now. And that's part of the golden rule. Treat others as you want to be treated. And so you're not begrudging other people for things shaking out the way they shook out, because it isn't just about you and it isn't just about them. It's about the whole. It's about life. It's about existence. It's about God. It's about Atman. It's about Shiva and Shakti. It's about Purusha and Shakti. It's about Purusha and Maya. It's about these ideas from Sankya's philosophy that are the observer and the kickstarter of energy that makes the whole shebang happen in the Maya, in the illusion, in the game, in the story that we're playing out right here, right now. And I know that was a lot, and there's a lot of techno garbage. If you don't know exactly techno jargon, if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out our other podcast that I am a co-host on called Ayurveda Digested. And sometimes we delve into Sankya's philosophy. I mean, you can get a lot more information about that. But what you need to know about it mostly is that there is greater machinations happening that we are a part of. And so in that greater movement, we are also moving. And so our manifestations will also be relative to that, as well as with where we are residing energetically. Right. And so just like the celestial bodies move and the earth moves. And so there's different arrangements at different times of day, and when different things happen, those bodies influence what's actually happening at that time because of the angle, because of the spin, because of the location. And it's the same for the greater machinations of life in the universe. It's not just the celestial bodies, it's about the people around you and the experiences that are being shared across the planet. So what do we take away from this? We take away that we are absolutely in charge of our destiny. What we are not in charge of is the details of our destiny, right? We place the order. So it is said sometimes in Abraham Hicks language, we're placing the order for what we want, but the catalog will select for us the best one of it. So it would be like, I want to feel like $1,000,000. And the catalog, Amazon or whatever, goes through the universe, God, whoever, Maya, Purusha, goes through and selects what that is for us that makes sense with the greater life and where we're lining up with that manifestation energetically or emotionally, and it delivers it to us, right? So the $1,000,000 might not be $1,000,000. It might be that I won a contest and I felt like $1,000,000, right? It's this essence of it all. And that the more clear we get, the more focus we get, the more we work with these energies, the energy of attention, intention, and retention, we then start to have more of a manifestational power, not because we're better at manifesting, but because we're familiar with it. Just like athletes practice their physical movement and or strategies for their sport, so too can we practice our relationship to energy, attention, intention, mind, body, and spirit. And so then we can start to warp and shape life around us more completely because we understand the machinations of the energy rather than just praying and hoping and or doing some ritual because we think it's going to do it for us, right? Permission slips are great. these rituals are helpful, but it's more about your relationship to the energy, God, universe, the earth, whatever, than it is about the details of it all. And so place your order, but don't begrudge what comes out of it, because what is greatest for you will come in its right time. But then if your energy changes because you didn't get exactly what you want, then you're going to start focusing on things that deliver something else completely. And that is where a lot of people sink in the mud. It becomes quicksand because they're like, well, I didn't get what I want. And then bloop, bloop, drop down instead of relaxing, not arguing, and understanding that your greatest good is coming to you, but it can only come as fast as is ready for the greatest serving of the greatest number of people, places, things, and rotations of all of the bodies of all of the universe right here, right now. And the greatest thing that I want for you and from the universe, for myself and for you, that is my greatest wish, is to be well and be free.